lovers, welcome to Uncommon Reader. My name is Daniela. I hope you enjoy the little visual intro, sharing a bit of the Christmas joy spirit in my town on the Adriatic Sea. The sea theme is a constant in many nativities across my town. And actually, I'll share a little more at the end of the video because it's actually a tradition in my town to display in an exhibit many different types of nativities made by local artisans, amateurs, and even schools. And many of them also use recycled materials, so stay tuned for that. This Christmas Joy BookTube tag was created by Sandy at Sandy Says Read, and I was tagged by my friend Reney of Beyond Books and by Pat of Book Chat with Pat. And I have to spend a few words for Pat because I have to thank her for helping me figuring out a technical issue I had with mentions in my channel. Pat, I truly appreciate your help and your interest. I was truly touched by your kindness and care, so thank you again. So, okay, time to dive into the Christmas Joy BookTube tag, but I need to warn you, I will have quite some uncommon answers to this tag because I'm not really a Christmas person, but I still wanted to give it a go to try to make myself less of a Grinch, let's put it that way. So Sandy, before sharing the prompts, she's giving us a few rules, easy rules, and these are, number one, before you start Christmas Joy BookTube tag, prepare your favorite Christmas beverage. It will be prompt 1 to hear about favorite drinks around the bookish globe. Number 2, when you're ready to post your video, make sure to tag Sandy so she doesn't miss the video. But also tag a few content creators who love Christmas or whom you know could use a boost. Enjoy this season. Yeah, so thank you again, Reney and Pat, for tagging me because my Christmas is going to be a little lonely. But number 3 is to have as much fun and joy with this as you want. Let's get going. Oh, joyful prompts. Number 1, show us what you made to drink. Okay, so I have to say my favorite drink, it always has been mulled wine. My mom used to make it at home and I was allowed to have a little sip. And I truly loved it. I feel if you haven't had this drink, it's like a warm sangria made with wine and fruits, but I'm not really good at making it. So I usually have it when I go through Christmas markets. And in fact, I'm going to share a photo sharing this cup I got when I went to Klagenfurt in Austria. And so I was drinking mulled wine in that photo. I'm not drinking mulled wine in this video, but I'm just gonna have a little bit of blueberry tea. It's not the same, but at least you know what I love. So the prompt number 2 has an A and a B question, which made me a little preoccupied. You'll understand why. So what's a Christmas book story you remember a parent or teacher reading to you when you were a kid? Tell us about it. So my friend, the horrible truth, and reading this question, I was like, I can't remember any family member reading bedtime stories to me. And that was kind of a shock and sort of a sad thing, but maybe it's not because it never happened. It's because I have such bad memory and I really have no recollection of this. So I remember maybe somebody told us fairy tales. I remember one that was pretty frequent was Little Red Hood. I think that's the name, because my sister loved it, and maybe that's why it's stuck in my head, but it's really not Christmas related. So unfortunately, I wasn't very helpful with this question. Prompt 2B is, since childhood, what's a Christmas story or book you enjoy or find yourself returning to each year? So again, I don't have a favorite Christmas story. I was a Grinch since a child, I don't know. But anyway, the book that came to mind, just to mention something, it's actually Little Women by Louise May Alcott. But I wasn't really drawn to the Christmas spirit. I was actually right away so struck with Jo, the character of Jo, because of her independence. So figure me 8 years old, I was already imagining being independent, and I was always looking for characters that would show that trail in personality, like Pippi Longstockings, and later on watching movies like Katharine Hepburn. But again, I'm going off topic with this one because they're not Christmas related. But to me, it was really important because it was kind of forming my personality. So that's why I wanted to mention it. Prompt number 3, has your favorite author written a Christmas story? So I have a few favorites, authors, of course, like any of you. And I have to say, I fell in love with Charles Dickens this year because I read David Copperfield, and it was such an enjoyable read. So I can mention a book that I'm going to read in December 2025 because I want to read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So it's not something I've read, but it's something I will go and read next year. And maybe we'll smooth out that Grinch in me. Prompt number 4, who is your favorite Christmas character from a book, history, movie, etc.? Tell us about that person or critter. Movies. Yes, I'm good at this. So I'm going to mention 2 movies that warm my heart over Christmas or any day of the year, because these are 2 romantic comedies that are among my favorite movies of all times, and there are Christmas moments in these classic romantic comedies, and they're not the sappy kind, they are the very witty comedies. And I'm going to start with When Harry Met Sally. I think the director was Bob Reiner. And I'll leave the poster of the movie here, with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. And there are so many Christmas scenes in this movie, and also the epic, the iconic ending scene at the New Year's Eve party when Harry goes and finally declares his love for Sally. And I think I know all the lines in this movie. It happens to me that whenever I'm traveling, for example, overseas, there seems to be always a presence of When Harry Met Sally. So I watch it again and again and again. And also the second movie that I want to mention, which is You've Got Mail, again with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. And I love this comedy as well, so romantic, but at the same time very witty. There's also a bookshop in the movie, the little shop around the corner, who is a big favor of that neighborhood, but that gets sort of in trouble because a big corporation, like, you know, like a big Barnes and Nobles come in, Fox Books, and is taking clients off of Kathleen Kelly. And Joe Fox is Tom Hanks, who is going to look for the competition. That's how they meet, and their relationship, it's a very edgy relationship at that time. But the awesome twist in this movie is that the 2 of them are chatting in an app, and they have no idea who's who. And so that makes things even more interesting. But if you haven't watched these movies, they are a must, and definitely some Christmas moments. They are very, very sweet. Even I like them. Let's see, prompt number 5. Do you munch on snacks while you read? And if so, which of your favorite holiday confection do you reach for this time of year? So when I read, I usually don't eat, which is a great thing because I do munch watching TV. So At least with books, I'm careful because many of these books are from the library. So of course I don't want to get them dirty. And of course I want to protect my own books as well. So no munching when I read, but I will munch answering the sixth question, which is, what's a Christmas tradition you will never outgrow? And where did this tradition come from? Well, this tradition comes from my country, Italy. And I bet almost any Italian will eat panettone, which is a sweet bread, and the tradition wants it with candied fruits and raisins, but nowadays they make so many different kinds, and I'm going to go and get the one I bought for myself. I forgot to bring it with me. And here it is. This is my panettone of choice, the vegan kind. I buy this at my local supermarket, but I really like this brand. It's not too expensive, because some of the panettones, and especially if they're made by artisans, they're super expensive. But then you find the cheap ones. This is sort of like a medium price. I think I paid like 12 euros for this. It was cheaper last year, but I guess it's very yummy. It comes only with the chocolate chips in it, but it's very soft and good. Another treat that I like on Christmas is panforte. And panforte is a chewy Italian dessert containing fruits and nuts. And I found online, because I wanted to try to explain, although I'll share also a picture. It is similar to a Florentine, but it is much thicker and is a little like a Lebkuchen. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I have no idea what it is, but here it is. So, okay, there's a seventh and last question, which is a bonus. Recommend one or two Christmas titles that spark joy or that you would recommend to your audience. Let's get a list going for this tag. Okay, so I'll define the word joy in this case, because the books I'll mention are not really like lighthearted books on Christmas, but they're actually sort of like mysteries and deep dramatic stories. One is Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and the other one is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. There's a movie out there, I believe is been released already. I haven't had a chance to go to the theater and see it. I also talked about this novel in a video that I did for Shorty September, 8 short novels for Shorty September. I'll leave a link to the video if you're curious and know more about this book. But I also want to mention a book that I saw on Pat's video, which reminded me of this book that I noticed last year as I was reading Dickens, and I'm like, oh, I'd like to give that book a try, which is Mr. Dickens and His Carols by Samantha Sylvia. So that and A Christmas Carol may be in my December 2025 TBR. Does that make me less of a Grinch? I hope so. Prompt number 8, tag others to join in the spirit of the season. Well, I think I am timed out for this time, as it's already Christmas, unless you want to give it a try very quickly and post this. But I will tag a lot of booktuber friends on January 3rd, because there's going to be a new original book tag. I collaborated with Emily of the Linguists Library, so stay tuned for that. And I also look forward to see you here on Uncommon Reader in a few days, because I'm going to share my favorites of December, which is going to be quite a big book haul, because I'm going to share some books I got at a book crossing and also some of my bookish Christmas presents. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what book are you reading this holiday season. I am going to start very soon Arabian Nights, narrated by Kader Abdullah. I can't wait to be transported in a beautiful magic place. And before I go, let me wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Hanukkah, because I think they are coming up at the same day. So Have a wonderful time with your families. Peace and love to you. And of course, happy reading too. Ciao.